personality program, the stewardship. This program is a platform designed to know the activities of the agencies, the ministries, and parastatals in the state of Osun, their successes, their challenges, and how far they are at the moment. My name is David Ojo. This program is proudly organized by the Office of the Civic Engagement, led by the Special Advisor on Civic Engagement, Honorable Olatunbosun Onyitiloye. My guest today is a commissioner. He's an engineer, and he knows how the environment is. My guest on stewardship today is Engineer Shola Olanipekun. You're welcome to stewardship.
Thank you. You're welcome to.
Yes, there's this saying that a friendly environment is a healthy environment. How friendly is the environment in the state of Osun?
Thank you very much. First of all, we thank the Almighty God for the opportunity He has given to Osun people to have the likes of Mr. Adeboye Itola as the current governor of the state. And we thank God Almighty also for making him to have considered everything possible to put myself, Shola Olanipekun, as the Commissioner for Environment and Sanitation, with my able assistant, the SA on the Environment and Sanitation, Mr. Engineer Oyewile. Environment, like you said, is all encompassing. It takes care of everything that concerns human beings. And so far, so good. It has been very, very conducive since the administration started.
Well, let's start this conversation seriously now. What are the achievements so far in this Ministry of Environment and Sanitation?
Well, achievements in the recent sense, we have been very, very successful. And not because of our might or power, but because God has made it to be so. It has been very, very challenging because it is during immediately this administration started that we had the issue of this pandemic called COVID-19. And as ravaging as it was, we were able to scale through and be one of the best states that handled COVID-19 with utmost attention, and God was so good. We had a minimal, impact in terms of the casualties. Ministry of Environment, when you talk of achievement, is so enormous. We operate basically based on about 7 departments. We have the Environmental Health and Sanitation Department. We have the Directorate of Forestry. We have that of the Flood Control and Erosion Services. We have that of the admin. We have that of the finance. We have that of the OMA. OMA is an agency of ours. OMA, that's the Osun State Waste Management Agency. And we have another one that is the Parks and Garden.
All this on the profit.
All that the profit.
Wow, so how are you managing this?
Well, I'm not managing it alone. That's why the Special Advisor to the Governor on Environment and Sanitation is also here. So we share the work among ourselves to make it more effective. And in terms of achievement, we take them one by department. Environmental Health and Sanitation Department is a big one. It's all encompassing.
Let's start with environment.
Yeah, it is. So it's such that it overlooks everything that we call environment in terms of the emission control, in terms of human health, that's the sanitary and whatever. So since this administration started, we met on ground a very bad state of emission control, especially with the 2 state companies we have in Osun so far. There's one in Ikiru, they call it prison, and another one at Ife. They call it Ife Steel Company. When we came, everybody around the factory, to the extent 5-10 kilometers away, they complain of the pollution, air pollution, because of the way they produce. It's as if there is cloud. We want it to rain. But God be the glory. Even the next year, which is an arm of federal government, they came and saw the way our government is so passionate about controlling and monitoring them to the minutest anything we have. And it gave us the grace, and we were able to monitor them. Next year confirmed that out of all the administration that they've served under in the state of Osho, where this is the only administration that is so passionate about the control and monitoring of the emission. So far, and to God be the glory, because of our insistence and non-compromising attitude. The prison in Ikirum, which had always been the talk of the town, we have standardized it. They have now installed a very modern pollution abatement plant. We call it PAP. And when you go to the area now, you don't see them just putting emissions into the air. It's controlled, and what you don't see from them is just the steam, which is better. If they had the PAP, that's a pollution abatement plant, before we came, but they are not the modern type.
Okay.
And we made them to change the method they're using. Presently, they are about completing what they call AOD, that will be assisting in the pollution abatement plant. AOD is carbon oxygen decarbonizer. They have done it, and they are about to commission it. So, and all this is just to give all the credit to the administration of Mr. Boy, the director, because if not because of his insistence and insistence that they must standardize and operate with international standard, we wouldn't have achieved this much. The COVID issue is also the contaminations everywhere. It's also under that department. We've done so many public schools, private schools. In fact, private people call us once in a while to come and decontaminate their facilities. Most of them, probably the event centers and all sorts of this, we go there to decontaminate regularly.
How are public schools in the state of Osho?
We did public schools and private schools, all of them. Okay. We did it together. And so far so good. Thank God that the pandemic is almost dying off. We pray to die. So we want we decontaminate frequently, and so far we also support the focal point of the state. Okay. If there's any COVID casualty, we are part of the team that will attend to the burial of such, so that it will not spread from that point. So, and in that department, so all the little things in terms of the way the various organizations and offices operate their generators that will not pollute this, the poultry system. If you have a poultry or an abattoir, or what you call it, a ranch, it must be standardized not to affect others. Generally, what they do in that department is like environmental impact assessment. The environmental impact analysis is being done by various agencies, especially lands and physical planning. But where the administration of Mr. Boyga had already made it mandatory. They don't, if you do any environmental impact assessment, you must still come to ensure that you go through the processes that will be monitored by the Ministry of Environment to ensure that your assessment, environmental impact assessment, is correct. So that's that about the department. The more you can talk and say, still something we can say about it.
Definitely.
We'll go to forestry.
Before we go to forestry, there's this organization called Take Up Nigeria. There was a time they said that Oshun is part of one of the states in Nigeria. What is your ministry doing to make sure that this kind of stigma is being removed from the state of Osho?
Thank you for the question. We hatched a report. That was the same report we brought out in 2017. They repeated the same report in 2020-21. A that's the source of our worries. And when we found out they are not genuine set of people. If you look at the ratings, and it's the same, you bringing out the same report all the time. They didn't do a survey. Or should no Osun Digin or anywhere will come here and say Osun is dirty. To us, apart from the waste management we do every day, and there's no way Mr. Governor goes out any day, he won't call your attention to anywhere he sees anything that is filthy. Not to talk of generality. The people in Osun are already used to the method of disposing, so we don't leave it to them to make it so free. So for them to come to that report is just a way, it's political, and we don't want it to distract in any form. We have replied them. Osun is not the dirtiest state in whatever. Let anybody come in. And we have done enough, and that report is not true.
All right. Let's talk about this private sector participation. What are you doing to make sure that there is control with this?
Waste management.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the waste management is everyday affair. When the administration of Mr. Intola came, we made something on ground, and that's what we tried to change. The style that everybody will use will be different. We try to, improve on the more we made on ground. And what we did at that time was wanted to invite the private PSP that are on ground then. They were just doing it, to those people that can pay. But this one, what we're doing, we have a common place which is for people who don't really have the capacity to be paying everything, so we make it very small for them to pay. And for those offices on the main high streets in the state, we try to come down to the level and give them bill every month, which they pay to government. So in terms of private participation, we tried as much as possible, and the number of vehicles, the type of vehicle we went on ground for waste disposal wasn't that good. But today, the government of Itola is buying some waste management vehicles that are really genuine and can last for long, that will not be consuming money for servicing and all sorts of things. So very soon you will see our new trucks out to manage the public. Then on that one again, we have private individuals also who are managing our dump sites, who are interested in waste to energy, waste to wealth. So all of them we have already signed up an MOU with them, and they will be coming up very soon. Beyond that one, we have already an MOU signed with the green energy biorefinery. An investor had come to the state, wanted to, we want to start among the 36 states in Nigeria. We're about the second or third state that will have that investment. Biorefinery is just to, change from the use of these firewoods and other things into, biofuel. So the biofuel thing is being established at Engr, and it's a high capacity one. And apart from the company that to the Virtue Plus that we just signed an agreement with, they will not only do the green energy till the biorefinery will not be there alone. They want to really generate from the waste product that we're using cassava alone to power the electricity for us. And this energy will be distributed around Osun State University, because this is a state that exists OSBC, Osun State University, and also they will be using the energy from them. We pray that it will complete within there is 18 months that will take them from last October. So once this coming starts, at least to be on record, at least we have reduced the burden of the national grid.
All right, let's talk about IGR and environment. Any IGR?
When you talk of Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Environment is divided into two: the IGR owned and the one that is a social responsibility. The forestry is an IGR department, environmental health and sanitation is another IGR department, but it has a level. There are some things that services we render that are social, which will not involve generating revenue. Then flood control is social. We just spend money on flood control, erosion control, and all sorts of. So those we generate revenue and involve in these social activities.
All right, over 10 minutes now, we've been having a chat with the Commissioner for Environment and Sanitation, Engineer Shola Olanipekun, and he's been giving us an insight on what the ministry is all about, especially some of the achievements they've made so far when it comes to environment. And let's talk about forestry. A lot of people are saying that people just go into the forest, they'll fell trees, they move away, and the government is not doing anything about it. How true?
Well, it is only those who have the opportunity to know the workings of government that will understand it. People can say anything, especially in this political era. They can say a lot of things. When the administration, came in 2018, there was something where the Department of Forestry was even taken out of the Ministry of Environment to mining and mineral resources. It was the decision of Mr. Governor of the way of the to bring it back to its former self. And it was returned to the Ministry of Environment. And since it came, what we try to do is to tackle the obvious problems within the department. What are these obvious problems? That the forest reserves we have in the state of Osun were seriously depleted when we came in. And almost all the trees, they are mono. We have two types of trees with the malady. We either have indigenous tree or exotic tree. Indigenous trees are these Iroko, Arariako, that the traditional trees. But the avenue trees, the Manania, teak, and all those things, they are regular trees that are supposed to be lit up all our forest reserves. What we did, Mr. Governor, after much, detailed briefing, he ordered us to that we should not do anything but to go. We don't have the money to proceed, but we should go minimally. He gave us resources to do the nursery of 250,000 seedlings of trees of various species.
And where did you have all those? Where?
We did it all over. We have the forest reserves, we have the places we have.
Can you just give us some? Can you mention some?
No. Let me take you through.
Okay,
what happened is the 250,000 seedlings were raised.
Okay.
And once they were raised, what we did was, when they got to the level of planting, we first of all deployed all the 250 into the 5 forest reserves we have in Osun. We have in Shasha Forest, we have Ago Forest Reserve, we have Obahe Forest Reserve, we have Oweno Jesha Forest Reserve, and the 5th one is the one at Obokun side there. And all these ones we shared it into it based on the sizes. The largest is Shasha Forest. We shared it based on the ratio. We deployed it. And while we were doing that, luckily enough for us, through the intervention of Mr. Governor, we were able to get 1 million tree seedlings from the federal government. And within that year, we got it late last year. And we started collecting and collecting. We have not finished collecting. But notwithstanding the one we collected, that added up to 500,000 trees we've planted in last year till now. But because of the dry season, we can't continue to have the wild planting. But we are ready as soon as the rain commences in March or April to let set the ball rolling and let it take off again.
So how safe are the seedlings? The ones that are not planted?
No, they are in the nursery. Okay. So we take care of them in terms of wetting and providing the necessary things to keep them up. We know how to handle it. We have professionals who do that. So even though also because of the way and manner the federal government has seen us being very, very disastrous. I mean, very serious with seedlings and planting in Osun. They offered to the FREE, that's Forestry Research Institute of Nigeria. They have their headquarters in Ibadan. They offered to give us, if we can provide land for them, they want to bring the seedling ponds to Osun.
That's good news.
And we are already talking to Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning, if they can give us almost about 100 hectares of land somewhere where they ask them to come and put these seedlings on. So instead of us going to Ibadan to collect those seedlings from federal government, which means we will be taking our seedlings from here, another state, nearby states will even come to Shola to come and take. So, and we planted it, and we're out of the 5 or 7, 6 forest reserves we have. It is under this administration again that with the federal government in its magnanimity was able to turn Oba Hill Forest Reserve, which is in the Iwo area, into a national park. So it has been approved. So we're working on it to get all the modalities on so that we can kickstart the national park. Already the governor had approved the steering committee to make sure that everything in that forest reserve is conserved and no encroacher is allowed into the place.
All right, let's talk about, just like the director is saying that we have not less than 10 minutes to leave the program. Let's talk about sanitation. We found out that of recent, we hardly see our sanitation inspectors again. It's like, what is happening?
Yes, they are using another, penetrating me from another angle.
Right.
I wanted to tell you that I've talked about sanitation, but thank God that you have added the sanitary officers into it. It is a general problem in the state that the government realized last year now that we have the sanitary officers are almost going to extinction. The last batch was in the service sometime last year, and Mr. Governor ordered that there should be new recruitment in that direction so that we don't lose all of them out. The way they are recruited, most local government, almost all local governments, they are the one recruiting the sanitary officers. State government leverage on most of them to do the sanitation in their local government because they are the people dealing with the grassroots.
So you don't have any power over them?
No, we have in the central. Like we have here, the director that we have in the environmental health and sanitation is a sanitarian. The general manager of OMA, Osun State Waste Management Agency, is a sanitarian. And most of the officers that are in the headquarters also like this. And we try to, what we do is, they go for regular trainings so that they can meet the modern methods of doing the work within the profession. So what we are trying to do is that the little that are left, we try to see a way of developing them and recruiting the fresh graduates from the various institutions into the service so that there will continuously be a need to sanitize the state.
Now, there have been some accolades on flood management, especially in the state of Osun.
Yeah.
What's the Midas touch? How do you do it?
The minor touch is Mr. Governor. For this is January, for example. He has started calling the attention of the ministry to how do we now work on all these rivers and streams around, so that we wouldn't wait until the rainy season before we start getting set to not to have any flood anywhere. What we have done so far is put it on his priority list. Presently, ongoing in almost some selected local governments and the key critical areas where we have the prone, flood-prone areas. What we did there is just to go there and be dredging or removing whatever is on that streams, for now, before the rain starts. And we have been doing some advocacy also to support that. Because most people, despite what we do, they will still go and construct houses of the dry season on the waterway. Because the thing had gone down now, and they will believe that when they build quickly here, they can divert or turn the waterways to another side. It doesn't look like that. Well, the type of torrent we had last year showed some people the very terrible experience. But we campaign against that, don't build there. And we have the government instructed the physical planning department that they don't give approval to any building that is not almost about 100 meters away from the waterway. So we try to control that. Then apart from that, some of the indigenous compounds that we have in our cities all around, they don't do anything than to just their waste to dump into the waterways. This one, when the rain comes, they will carry and go and block the way somewhere, and there will be overflow, which we call the flood. So we try to do, we've done a lot. And it is only the critical areas that we approach to attend to when the rain starts. For now, a lot of rivers and streams have been dredged. The contamination of Oshun that we're talking about, they've done the dredging of Oshun River. We did it last year under this administration. Presently, the color that we're having in Oshun River is not because we don't have the mining, artisanal miners that are not really, there are so many, and they do their mining wherever they are, and their products, they just let it. What we have noticed is that most of the streams that leads to, that serve Oshun River, most of the streams now are being used by the miners to wash whatever they are doing. They block the stream not to allow it to flow. So by the time they finish all this thing, they will just give a little way, and the more that whatever they got there flows into the river. Wow. So the current survey we did there showed that the depth of the water is just 5 meters of the river Oshun. Out of the 5 meters, 3 meters is mud. Only 2 meters up here is water. So, and if you want to do dredging, you can, if it's sand, it's easy to sort than to do mud. Right. So we have a critical problem, a challenge, and now we are looking up to federal government also to come to the aid of the state. And unfortunately for us, we can't control the miners. Mining is on the exclusive list of the federal government. And therefore, if it is there, most of those miners will just come without even minding whatever the state government will do. Because they believe they come here, they have the whatever letter from the federal government.
All right, I know that you agree with me that it's been fantastic talking with the Commissioner for Environment and Sanitation, Engineer Shola Olanipekun, and it's always a pleasure having you on stewardship today.
It's my pleasure too.
All right, this is the convenient time we will be saying our bye-byes on our program, Stewardship. My name is David Ojo.